Hello everyone, Z Toilet here. Today we're diving into the cosmic conundrum between G-Man and Astro Toilets. After episode 74, our minds are clogged with questions that desperately need plunging. Why did G-Man double-cross Astro? Is he an ex-Astro commander or just some regular Joe who got a little too cozy with the Skibidi virus? And seriously, where did this virus even come from? Outer space? The ordinary world is feeling anything but ordinary right now. Before we flush into the details, I gotta apologize and shamelessly beg you to subscribe to my channel. Help me reach that glorious 2,000 subscriber milestone. And don't even think about touching that skip button. Watch till the end. Alright, let's roll the video. We learned that G-Man appears to have been an Astro Toilet in the past from the document containing the old photo, because it's obvious from looking at his head and the devices on it. Additionally, the outdated notion of the document the Mr. Boom gave a lead cameraman so that he could display it in his film serves as proof that G-Man is precisely Astro. This is precisely the idea, albeit it clearly has a connection to the story. DeFook, however, chose to reveal G-Man's identity as Astro a bit later rather than in episode 70. We saw this paperwork in this particular episode, but on it, instead of an Astro G-Man, there was a scientist. For this reason, G-Man is wearing a different helmet in this scene from the one from episode 74. After Mr. Boom changed it, it now resembles a crown, indicating that G-Man was one of the primary Astro Toilets. In addition, prior to their battle, the Astro Scorpion was called by the commander. He added, "Commander, you are aware of the consequences of treachery. Justice will not spare anyone." Generally speaking, I believe that we all know that G-Man is the Astro commander and that no further proof is required. But why did G-Man turn against this race and end up as one of its chief adversaries? Naturally, we have a lot of questions about this, and we still don't have the answers. Well, maybe we could grasp everything if we could read the Skibidi language, but sadly, that is not possible. As a result, all I can do is conjecture about the awful and hidden past of the present leader of the Skibidi Toilets and former Astro commander. Let's go back to the beginning and review G-Man's background. Although G-Man was first shown in the very first episode, I don't think his appearance is canonical because it's so small. Furthermore, Mr. Boom claimed that the first few episodes of the show had no plot and were a joke. As a result, G-Man was only mentioned in passing in the first episode and not by name. The identical allusion appears in the second episode. As early as episode 4, G-Man was enjoying his lunch while seated like a man in a restaurant when the restrooms appeared and began to sing. However, we already meet G-Man in his regular form in episode 5. G-Man was once more only a reference and not the show's canonical hero in episodes 4 and 5. But the most fascinating stuff starts in episode 6. It is now impossible to wash this skit off, thus Mon Toilet emerges looking nothing like his friends. Like Astro Toilets, he also knew how to shoot out of his eyeballs. But where had he come from and why? Now let's go back to episode 74 and recall the image's background where G-Man was. It appears as though this is a whole new world because the buildings we see have nothing in common with the buildings in the series itself. Indeed, it seems that the Astros either resided on a different planet or were taking this picture at the moment. The second choice is more likely since it was made obvious that the Astro are the intruders by the conclusion of episode 74. The description of episode 74, which was altered after it was downloaded, is another indication that the Astro are extraterrestrial intruders. The statement now reads, "The Astro fleet is invading the Earth." The Astro fleet is on the verge of encroaching upon Earth. In other words, they have just arrived on Earth from space and are making their first noticeable presence here. We already have a basic overview of G-Man, which is that he was originally an extraterrestrial invader of the Astro Toilet. However, at some point he managed to escape, betrayed his race, and was among the first to reach Earth. where he started his quest. Generally speaking, my theory states that if Giman was the first person to come on Earth, the virus most likely started with him and eventually spread to the entire planet. To put it plainly, the Skibidi virus originated from him. Maybe once one of the scientists discovered him and started examining his body, all of his previous technologies were eliminated. However, it was a grave error, since Giman went on to infect every scientist, starting this evil that eventually spread to every corner of the globe. This, incidentally, explains his relationship with the scientist who, although maybe among the first to contract Giman's infection, ended up becoming his friend. Numerous factors could have allowed Giman to flee the Astro race. Giman is an extremely determined figure, although he was merely a commander. Maybe he didn't like something about the main Astro's rule and made the decision to launch an uprising, but he was put down and fled to Earth to avoid being slain by the people he betrayed. Yes, some of what I've said may sound funny to you, but as of right now, I can't think of another way to explain anything. But why were Astros and G-Man here on Earth too? After all, Astro previously appeared in episode 51 and engaged in combat with the Alliance. They handled regular toilets neutrally and did not murder them, so they were certainly not buddies with them. However, they revealed themselves in episode 60 and attempted to attack G-Man in retaliation for the betrayal, but the scientists scared them away. By episode 70, they had lost all patience with regular restrooms. It's clear that occupying the entire planet will take more than a few seconds. From episode 51, they might have been attempting to see if they could win at all and building their self-confidence in common restrooms, but in reality, they probably hated everyone. They started their plan in episodes 70 and 74 after realizing that this is the ideal moment to launch an attack. The Titans were wasting their strength, and the chief scientist on the toilet had perished. It was, all things considered, the ideal time to land on the planet. As soon as the signal was issued, other Astros were en route to Earth. The Alliance ignored Giman's warnings that a horrible event was imminent and engaged in combat with him. Following the events of episode 74, the Alliance came to the realization that their power was insufficient to vanquish the enemy and that brute force was no longer an effective strategy. They therefore required allies, shrewd allies like Giman. The scientist even requested that they bring him to their base so they could talk. The name of the Astro restrooms is an intriguing tidbit, by the way. The mothership, sometimes known as the main ship, is the largest of them and appears to hold a significant number of Astros. They reached Earth aboard this ship. Since this Astro is the biggest of all the characters and currently the largest in general, it seems sense that it is a portable foundation. Giman desired to flee, turn over a new leaf, conquer the world, and establish himself as its ruler. However, it appears that his history has returned to haunt him, and it now seeks to rule the world. You also recall that following the updates, I presented you the Titan concepts. We made the decision to create a new Astro G-Man idea today, along with Panay. Navigate to his frame to observe Astro G-Man at a younger age. He has mechanical arms, a core, and crimson eyes. The same document from episode 74 provided a lot of the specifics, and Commander Astro looks great. Do you believe that Giman may re-equip himself with Astro technology in the future and use their own weaponry to combat his former allies? I think that would be fascinating. In order to finish the image and comprehend Astro G-Man's appearance prior to his arrival on Earth, we generated this frame. Generally speaking, as additional information regarding Giman's past comes to light in the future, my theory will either be confirmed or disproved. There will be more secret sequences in the upcoming season in episode 75, when we will undoubtedly learn a great deal from the future conversation between Giman and the scientist. We shall also follow the narrative along thanks to Giman's conversations with other Astros. We also witnessed the Titan G-Mon concept and its already installed rocket engines. The only things left to do are link everything else. G-Man might even be able to withstand Astro, though that is still unknown. One thing we are certain of is that G-Man will employ the portions of the technology that appear to have been saved. For instance, the fact that his Astro claws were present in both the new concept and the construction images indicates that something made it to Earth and will be utilized by G-Mon once more in the struggle with his history. I'll tell you a lot of theories. Among these are the theories regarding the existence of the Computer Man and the death of the Titan camera. There are a lot of theories and thoughts in general. That's all I have, and I hope you can help. To ensure you don't miss anything, I suggest subscribing to this channel. I'm grateful to everyone that watched. Goodbye to all of you.